My son walked into the house quieter than usual. He dropped his backpack near the door without a word. No request for a snack. No rush to grab the PlayStation controller. He just sank into the couch and stared at the wall like it might hold some kind of answer. I walked over and asked gently, "Hey, what's going on?" He lifted his head slowly, his voice barely audible. "Dad, please don't ever go back to that house." My chest tightened. I crouched beside him, calm on the outside, but every part of me alert. "Why? What happened?" He didn't reply right away. Instead, he handed me his phone. "Just watch this." I tapped play. The video was grainy, clearly recorded through a slightly open doorway. Voices filled the speakers. One of them was my wife, Lauren. She was laughing, her tone casual, comfortable. Then came another voice, her mother's, cold, controlled. And then came a third, low, smug, unmistakably familiar. Lauren lay in bed, but she wasn't alone. The man next to her was James, my best friend, my best man on our wedding day, the man I chose to be godfather to our son. They were laughing about me, mocking my dependability, my boring faithfulness, saying I was safe, predictable, the kind of man women settle for but don't crave. Lauren said she deserved more. Her mother agreed. Evelyn, always polished, always wearing that fake smile, added sharply, "He's useful. Play along until the divorce is finalized. Then take him for everything." The video ended. I didn't say anything, just looked at my boy. He was searching my face for a reaction. I reached out, gently cupped his cheeks, and gave him a small, steady smile. "Thanks for showing me, buddy. I'll take care of it from here." 12 years. That's how long Lauren and I had been married. A dozen years of building what I thought was a life, one brick at a time. We had a home in the suburbs, a pair of reliable cars, a golden retriever, school events, late-night talks, and even therapy when I thought we were slipping. I see now, I was the only one trying to hold us together. Lauren had always been smart, sharp, stunning. I used to admire how calculated she was. I mistook her control for strength. And James? He was like the brother I never had, until betrayal rewrote everything I thought I knew. Evelyn was poisoned with pearls. Her charm always had sharp edges I ignored. I should have paid attention. But love makes you deaf to red flags. Loyalty puts blinders on your eyes, until it doesn't. That night, I watched the video again. Then again, I paused it, replayed it, studied every single word like it was confession under oath. And then I began to plan. No shouting, no accusations, no sleep. I dove into research. Lauren handled our finances. She'd said I had enough on my plate with work. I believed her, trusted her, but I still had access, quietly, legally. And now I noticed things I hadn't before. Strange transactions, suspicious invoices, accounts I never knew existed. She had already started preparing for a life without me. So I let her think I was still in the dark, kissed her cheek every morning, smiled at the dinner table, tucked our son in at night. And after he fell asleep, I worked. Screenshots, copies of emails, recordings. I installed discreet cameras around the house. I met with a divorce lawyer in secret, paid in cash, signed NDAs. Slowly, I built a case. Then came the part with James. I invited him over for drinks. We laughed like old times. He told me about a new woman he was seeing. He had no idea I already had every message, every picture, every voice note. He thought he was clever. But arrogance always exposes the cracks. 2 months later, everything was in place. The trap was ready. All I had to do now was wait for them to walk right into the trap. I crafted a fake email from pretend law firm, official-looking, polished, perfectly worded. It claimed a subpoena was in motion, that digital devices were being investigated for a potential leak of sensitive information. The language was just technical enough to scare them. And it worked. Lauren's calm cracked almost instantly. She began whispering on phone calls, pacing in corners, calling people she hadn't spoken to in months. Evelyn started showing up more often. Their little gatherings turned from smug laughter to tense, urgent whispers behind closed doors. Then came the blunder. Lauren attempted to wire $200,000 to an offshore account, but she never saw it coming. I had already locked down our joint accounts. Quietly, legally, I rerouted everything of value, transferred our son's college savings into a trust under my name alone. When the transfer failed, she lost it, screamed. That very afternoon, she was served divorce papers, a petition for full custody, a comprehensive stack of evidence, financial misconduct, betrayal, calculated deception, all tied together, documented, and ready for court. The confrontation happened in Evelyn's elegant living room, the same one that always smelled of overpriced candles and pretentious lies. I didn't go alone. My attorney came with me, more for presence than purpose. Lauren brought James, probably thinking he'd have her back. He was visibly shaken, sweat pooling under his collar. Evelyn, ever the actress, pretended none of it rattled her. I pulled a leather folder from my briefcase and laid out the contents one by one. Printed screenshots from the video, statements from the bank, date-stamped messages, and emails. I didn't raise my voice, just spoke plainly. All of this is going to court, I said, and some of it's headed to federal authorities. You've crossed into criminal territory, wire fraud, among other things. James jumped his feet. You can't do this. Sit down, I said without emotion. And he did. I turned to Evelyn next. You once called me useful. I said, you were right, but I'm not your puppet. And this isn't one of your games. Lauren tried to cry, but it was all performance. There was no sincerity in her tears, not anymore. She had wrung every drop of sympathy dry. I leaned in slightly, lowering my voice. You don't get to lie, steal, manipulate, and walk away untouched. Not this time. Weeks later, the court ruled in my favor. Full custody. The judge barely took a moment to decide. Lauren lost it all. The house, the savings, the respect she once commanded. Evelyn was cut off by her elite social circle. James, he fled to another city, career in ruins. I made sure his employer received everything. Every detail of his betrayal. I didn't shout. I didn't seek revenge through rage. I let the truth burn everything down. Now my son sleeps through the night. No more sudden screams. No more secrets eating away at his young mind. Sometimes he'll look up at me and ask, "Did you fix it, Dad?" I smile, ruffle his hair, and say, "Yeah, I fixed it." And sometimes when the world goes quiet, I sit by the window with a glass of scotch in hand, and the phone that started it all resting beside me. I don't play the video anymore. I don't need to, because the moment my son whispered, "Don't go back to that house," he didn't just warn me. He gave me the spark, and I set the fire. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, and share. Every click helps keep these real-life stories alive.